Steelers wide receiver? Well, so far playing with him, I'm 6-1, and I'm playing some tough opponents. But yeah, GERMIE Bernard is pretty good. Let's play and find out on Sunny Hippies. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. Thank you.
Welcome everyone to Memorial Stadium in Bloomington, Indiana, home of the Indiana Hoosiers. As we'll see, the number 10 team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on the number 1 team in the land, the Indiana Hoosiers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. And the Hoosiers will kick it off to get us underway. On the run from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They've got the big fellas out there. A 3 tight end look on 1st and 10. The give is to Miller. Gets it out to the 25-yard line, a gain of 3.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Got to be smart, patient, great vision, uses all of that to get to the 29.
And, you know, when we talk about great third down defenses, it really starts with them getting stops on 1st and 2nd down. You've got to get those stops early in the drives to set up 3rd and long, so that's a missed opportunity on that 2nd down by this defense.
On 3rd and short, just trying to get enough for the 1st down. He's not even going to make it back to the line of scrimmage as the defense gets big-time penetration.
Man, this is a defense that prides themselves on stopping the run, and that is a huge statement on their opponent's opening drive of the game. 3rd and short, they don't just get a stop. They get a tackle for loss. That sends a very clear message that they're going to be the more physical side today.
So the last thing you want to do is start the game, 1st drive, go 3 and out. They won't do that here. They might go 4 and out, but they'll try to convert here. And you want to know what impact home field advantage can have? There it is. The offense will walk it back. The Crimson Tide will bring the punt team on the field. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. And you make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. Showed himself to be a regular Spinderella, but not a lot of room to run. Kept it on the ground on 1st down. See if they stick with that plan on 2nd. gives it to the back on the draw. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run up the middle, try different things to see what you do with it.
Just what they'd hoped for on third down as they've got a first at the 32.
And they just kind of sneaked that one in there as a defensive guy, 3rd and 5+. I'm thinking pass. They were thinking pass, Palmer, and they slipped the run.
And it's so nice then to have this guy running back too, right? Because you could throw it to him on third down or hand it off, and he's got the vision and the athleticism.
Breaks into the open. He's run out of bounds, but not before he gets it to the 26. The Hoosiers with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Looking for a gap. It's Hemby. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
And the Hoosiers are moving quickly down the field. From the red zone, looking for a space. Makes the grab. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. He makes the grab. They will score. Touchdown, Hoosiers. They want to see if they can score the deuce. Trying to barge their way in. He's not going to make it. Stop short of the goal line, and they are unable to extend this lead any further.
Indiana 6, Alabama 0.
They are set to kick it off, and you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Coming out on first down with the play fake. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
So now it's 2nd and long. Back to throw, it's Simpson. Finds his back in the middle. Oh, he's got some space. He's at the 40. Running inside the 20. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. Once he got a step, it was all over, right to the house.
Man, how hard is it to defend when you have a weapon like this at running back that can play wide receiver? You can design ways to get the football in his hand. Palmer, once you get it in his hands, he'll do the rest.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and oftentimes those are easier throws for quarterbacks. And these running backs, they're just naturally so good when they have the football out in space. Their vision, their creativity, their ability to make people miss. And this guy showed you right there, a difficult guy to stop now if you're this defense moving forward.
And they move on top with the extra point, 7-6. They wasted no time on that drive. Got it on their 25, and 2 plays later, they're in the end zone. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Fielded in the end zone, it's Williams. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Well, this defense knew coming in they were going to see some RPO and they were going to see some quick game. A nice job there taking the throw away from the quarterback.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. From the gun, running back on the move. And they'll make the stop, and we are headed to the end of the first period. We've reached a break, and Alabama has the lead. And we've come to the end of one, and let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the second quarter. This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on 3rd down. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. He'll be dragged down right at the 19-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there. It's 4th down and 14, but they're going to go for it. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Moving past the 25.
Charted the 3.
What the fuck was that, dude? My dude just fucking went for a stupid interception and missed an easy tackle for the fucking turnover? What the fuck was that? Dude, what the fuck? He just missed. All he had to do was fucking tackle him, dude. Oh my god, dude. This game is horrible. This is like, I don't even want to play now, even I'm winning the fucking game, and I'm 8-1. It's like the players, are you really that fucking stupid, dude? What the fuck, dude? Like, what the fuck?
Federal health
Literally,
officials announced a
dude.
new outbreak of cyclosporiasis, impacting 72 people, about 4,100.
Dude, literally, that's the fucking dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen, dude.
According to the CDC, at least 98 people have been hospitalized as cases have been reported in at least 41 U.S. states. Critics have talked about the gutting of CDC by Doge. And in Maine, Democrats have selected Troy Jackson to replace Graham Plattner as their U.S. Senate candidate at a convention on Saturday. Plattner dropped out of his race after an ex-girlfriend accused him of rape. Jackson is a former logger and former Maine state legislator who was the Maine State Senate president. He will face Republican Senator Susan Collins, a 5-term incumbent, in November. This is Jackson accepting his party's nomination for Senate.
We need someone with courage. We need a fighter. And we need a senator who remembers exactly who sent them the election, which is you. Let's unite this party. Let's build the largest working-class movement Maine has ever seen. And let's win this fight. I humbly ask for your vote.
So the offense is going to go for it on fourth down.
Troy Jackson was endorsed by the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, when he ran for governor. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy
Great job by the defense.
Thanks for watching Democracy Now! On YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and turn on
receivers. You disrupt their timing. You get your hands on them at the line of scrimmage. You jam them, and it completely disrupts the quarterback and his thought process. And that time, that was a big reason that ball got INT.
No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half.
So SpaceX and Elon Musk crushed today as basically the bubble is popping. Let me show you guys what's going on. This is the headline. SpaceX has now lost the equivalent of a...
The thing is, he'll do it again and again and again. And to women.
The details. What's $1 trillion between a trillionaire and his fans? And basically, SpaceX has now raised more than 1.2 trillion in market cap. It was at 225 at the high. Currently trading around 113, and it's fell and going down. 13th out of the last 16 sessions. Again, SpaceX is down. And I told you guys this, that SpaceX IPO would be the peak of the bubble market. It's looking like I'm correct. And then also it's affecting everyone here in Korea with crashing as well. U.S. stock futures slip. South Korea's Kospi, so that's the Korean market, plunges 8%. It's actually pretty ugly. And it's been extremely volatile. We even had to freeze trading because there was so much selling. KRX activates sell side sidecar, which is freezing. For Kospi on the sharp climb, it is crazy to sound. And if you are over leveraged, you're probably not, Chris is not so funny. Sometimes you get really mad at me when I tell you the truth, but I warned you guys so many times about this bubble stuff, and then everyone's been talking about this big story today. NVIDIA $750 billion in deals reignite circular AI.
I hooked him up with the girl, and he screamed at her for no reason.
And it was funny, someone was even calling out Elon, because Elon was saying, oh, it doesn't matter, it's not going to matter. So this is from a professor, I think, that says, a proposed pledge for Elon Musk. Okay, an opportunity to put your money where your mouth is. If money won't matter in 2036, so for Elon, it won't matter. Why don't you pledge to donate your current wealth of approximately $1 trillion to charities no later than 2036? This would establish with great credibility, right? Musk replies that I am actually going to do something along these lines. Interesting. So Musk going to give away with his money? I doubt that, but that's what Musk is saying today. Musk wants your money to be in his platform. This is money. X money, I guess. Your money on the world's most powerful network. And they've been rolling this stuff out. They want to do your things. Basically, they want to do your social media. They want to do your every time you start saying, this is a pretty using and it's like going when you say pay anyone anywhere, earn while you sleep. They want to give you crypto. Even we want to do everything, that kind of stuff. So they want to do that. Musk is then also saying they want to books of this also. AI companies are both buying their books. That's interesting. AI companies are buying their books, scanning them through IT machines that put out the spine and spreading the original tags. Musk claims, I've asked the SpaceX AI team to preserving rare books in the library and scan them the hard way versus just cutting off the spine and scanning. Okay, that's what we're doing there.
In terms of orbital data centers, right? So, Elon and SpaceX are betting on this right now. There is no reason to believe this will not come into existence.
Never bet against Elon.
100%, right? And I never bet against an extremely well-capitalized
capitalized, Elon. So people ask, you know, in my position as NASA administrator, what do I think, for example, of SpaceX as an IPO? Like, first of all, I'm thrilled with any of our partners that are essential to undertaking and achieving our mission. Like, again, number one, national space policy objective, return American astronauts to the lunar surface, build the moon base out. We can't do it without them. So the fact that they're extremely well capitalized right now is a fantastic thing, not to mention the engineering talent that's in there. And, you know, I think without question, you know, the greatest entrepreneur and engineer in recent history at the helm. So I think that's all very good, no doubt it will come into existence.
So that's the head on NASA dude, I think it's Jared Isaacman, his name, talking about space data centers, and I guess we need people like Elon, and we should be celebrating Elon got all this capital, all this money, and a well-capitalized Elon. Don't bet against that. it is a blacked out culture they've got in the USA where it's a sort of worship of wealth. Worship of these hosting games, lunar bases, Mars bases, these kind of things. I just tell you what this is. I think it's, you know, blacked out.
We had this morning, Steve Eisman was on Squawk Box this morning, famed investor. Here's what he had to say when he was asked a major question of the earnings season, which is what happens if big tech starts cutting its AI capex.
At 85% revenue growth. So if a hyperscaler cuts,
because you're trying to take advantage of a defense over pursuing and buy a lot of defensive team speed.
For the long term.
Didn't work right there.
But I think the market would go straight down on that.
Has anyone actually made it to level 4 before? Just slightly congested? Use level 1. If you find yourself mouth breathing or snoring at night, use level 2.
Fighting off the defender.
If you feel like you're breathing through a straw and it's affecting your everyday life, use level 3. You have a deviated septum and your collapsed nostril just like this. Use level 4. How do you realize?
Curious for your reaction to that. Whether you think that's even likely or discussing at this point versus what Google did, which was raise and still get punished.
Yeah, well, so on the one level, I'd say I think Steve's logic, there's some logic to it, but the fact that many people are slowing back is a sign that we're not at a top because people are questioning the longevity of the cycle. Like, so I think that's actually a bullish thing. The second is it probable? I think doubtful that there would be the cuts because, you know, these companies still have access to the bond market, and the bond market isn't denying capital. So there's nothing with AI bubble based on debt, based on hype, also based on social requirements, right? And if we turn off, I guess, the money's blocking the way we said they were spending more than not, then you can give us the back. Like the market goes straight down. The report guy is talking about that. I mean, the argument against it is we're going to keep spending. I mean, it's true. If people are still willing to finance this stuff, sure. But I mean, how is this going to turn out? Because at the end of the day, at the moment, a lot of these companies are just burning through cash, filling out these data centers and taking losses. It's kind of crazy, but I guess it's not a loss as long as the software is up, right? There's a broader movement which clearly kind of was kicked off a couple weeks ago when we partnered with NVIDIA and then talked about how do you build sovereign AI, meaning AI, we're in the enterprise space. So how do you build an AI stack so that you not only get what you pay for, so you're not token maxing and just paying for tokens over time, but as importantly, that you're not transferring the value of your business to a frontier. So one of the big worries, one of the things that's caused a lot of pain and consternation in American enterprise is, hey, I'm paying for tokens and you're getting out of my business. Because when they look at your data, when they look at your telemetry, and there's a lot of contractual things that you're taking advantage of, you're basically transferring the value of your business to them. Now, we have 20 years experience.
They built the bridge and they built the bridge already, but they won't use it because it's taking away money from somebody.
And you use it in a way where you keep the advantage of your business.
But that's actually the worry, though, is that if I'm feeding all of my info into the AI, are they taking my crap, basically? And in fact, before we had a member on the community mention, I think they said they were an architect, and if they were to use AI, he had it done to all of the design plans.
Yeah, he had delayed it.
And effectively, are you signing away your IP to said companies, right? And so that is a concern. Part of making case, well, we've got a contract, so you're going to be safe. But this is a serious concern. So
oh, good.
The cloud and other ones. So kind of get the
oh, good. It was finished.
Open wave, source, whatever. It's like it was down.
Oh, good. It was finished years ago.
On the move from inside.
It used to be the case that the hyperscalers would raise capex and then show top line growth, and the next day the stocks would be higher. You know, that was really cheered by Wall Street. There is now much more scrutiny, which is maybe why this circular financing story has kind of come up this morning, where just showing top line growth overall isn't good enough. That they want much more different types of evidence that raising capex is because there is.
Do you like cats? I have 3 cats.
For whatever the AI technology is they're working on.
Right, we're basically in the top line growth, so basically look at the earnings report.
Oh no.
Revenue. Just keep growing that revenue.
Oh no, I only have 2 cats because Patches died.
Everything be awesome, and that's something that they can do here. Is like, hey, I give you a discount on the services, and revenue is growing. The data centers, people are excited. Wow, the revenue is growing because those more data centers. That means the revenue can grow even more, right? But these are loss. These are capturing companies. Like this AI stuff is right now a loser. And it's questions like those on the university, like how much money we're putting into it.
Oh yeah, it was supposed to open a year ago, but Trump delayed it because his buddy owned the competing bridge.
He's going to win a lot of times.
Here's a quote here. Kramer said Monday the latest chapter of the article titled Doom is reviving memories of the excesses that fueled the dot-com bubble. Quote, I lived through 2000, right? I don't want a sequel. I personally think it was way more crazy than even dot-com because we got the crypto stuff involved with this. Heavily involved with Trump, into crypto family, and that was, it's all the same, etc. Kramer giving us something kind of interesting. Kramer issues a warning to investors trading with borrowed money, but there's a lot of leverage in the market these days. Quote, if you're borrowing money to buy something related to data centers, then tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m., sell it number $750 billion. That's the potential value of a fresh round of AI infrastructure deals NVIDIA's working on. Markets have reacted in a really unusual way to a number of headlines this morning. The concerns about circular financing, the idea that NVIDIA is bankrolling the same companies that are buying their technology. There's some nuance in that $750 billion number. We need to understand it, but having opened higher, NASDAQ 100 are particularly Pitt stock are now markedly lower. Joining us more is Limousine King, who was with me in San Francisco Friday night trying to understand what was a big AI event hosted by the Korean government. Let's just focus on the SK bit. $500 billion. I had the opportunity to ask Jensen to sort of just explain what it encompasses. You also did some reporting what it encompasses. What does it encompass?
Yeah, the beginning of time, right? They want to isolate that linebacker. A lot of times they're going to pull a guard.
I followed your Instagram. You posted Fiona Apple.
Going downhill, attacking and getting a big tackle for a loss.
This could be spending by NVIDIA on SK Hynix's memory chips. This could be investment by NVIDIA on helping SK Hynix develop future memory chips. We just don't know. Right? We don't know if they know the risk.
I think Jensen's response is basically all of the above.
And the project is before even my wife's dad, so my father-in-law, was asking about this one. For real. Or asking about the etc. And for sure, actually, my wife's sister's husband, the mother-in-law of my wife's sister, I don't know if they call it related to me, but she was even asking, is now the time to sell Samsung or whatever. Like, they're asking us, like this is the kind of world that we're not in, because everyone is throwing money into this stuff. It's going up, and it's fantastic, but, it's what a bubble looks like.
You're one sentence away from launching your website with Base 44. Since the beginning of the internet, there's never been such a fun, fast, and intelligent way to launch on landing pages, content on e-commerce. You describe it and it's built in a minute. It's kind of wild how far a short prompt can get. Right away, it generates a full site. Pages, structure, layout, design, it's all there. Next, styling. Shape it around my taste and ask for what I like. Darker palette, different fonts, open the box. Now let's talk functionality. I want to capture emails, done. And payments, easy. Anything else I need, I just go. But a few lines of text to a live website I can start sharing. No one set up. No for anybody else.
I have not been active either on Instagram.
Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Well, I like trick plays. I just don't love dialing up the reverse on third down, though, because if the defense doesn't bite, and they're already expecting pass anyway, a lot of guys have their eyes on the QB, just following the football in zone coverage, and they use their speed, rally to make a tackle, and now set up fourth down.
In France and Spain, devastating wildfires have forced more than 350,000 people to evacuate their homes. It's among the largest peacetime evacuations in France since World War II. At least 4,600 emergency personnel have been deployed to the southwest of France, where the fires began Wednesday before spreading to Spain. Earlier this summer, Western Europe experienced its hottest June on record. Meanwhile, conditions are expected to worsen later this week as another heat wave could surge temperatures to 40 degrees Celsius. That's 104 degrees Fahrenheit or more. Speaking Sunday, Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez warned of complicated hours ahead as Spain battles to control the blazes.
I think the scale of the disaster we are experiencing, unfortunately, is very difficult to comprehend. Yesterday, we reported that 130,000 hectares have been affected and so far this year. Today, less than 24 hours later, that figure has already risen to more than 150,000 hectares.
We're joined by two guests. Joining us from Spain, Professor Ángel Luis Lara, sociologist and associate professor of Ibero-American Cultural Studies at SUNY at Westbury. He and his family have just evacuated from a municipality west of Madrid. He will join us from the province of Toledo in the Castile-La Mancha region.
And they cap things off with a 9-yard
including recently fire weather on the front lines of a burning world, the finalists for the Pulitzer Prize and the National Book Award. Welcome you both to Democracy Now! Let's begin with Professor Ángel Luis Lara. Can you describe the scene on the ground? I mean, in France, I think this is the biggest evacuation since World War II. The fires spreading to Spain, what it meant to be uprooted from your home, the devastation of communities as they burn to the ground. Professor Ángel Luis Lara.
Hello, Amy. My family and I were evacuated 3 days ago from Chapinero, which is a small town in the West area of the region of Madrid, 30 miles out from the city. And the fire was just getting way too close to our village, and the air quality was starting to get really dangerous for our health. So the local authorities decided to evacuate all the people there. However, we consider ourselves incredibly lucky, right? Because even though the flames made it right into our street and the house right across from ours was burned to the ground, our place took just some minor damage. So we're just to give you an idea of how severe the situation is, you gotta consider around 30,000 of us have been directly evacuated from the region of Madrid, and 20,000 more have been placed under lockdown orders because of these out-of-control fires. If the neighboring regions impacted by the same series of...
I'll get on the camera later.
The region of Ávila, for example, the number of evacuations exceeds 60,000 people, with overall affected residents reaching over 95,000 people. And some of these people have lost absolutely everything. Their homes, their animals. So many families are sleeping in sports centers or emergency camps right now. And for the folks who make a living off the land, especially for them, losing their crops and livestock is just devastating. So I would say that as crazy as these past few days have been for my family, I consider ourselves very lucky because we are safe.
Professor, can you talk about the firefighters' strike in Madrid? They had been warning for years about being under-resourced, had been going without a contract for years, and they are in, as are many of the autonomous regions, this one, Madrid, a conservative-controlled area where the head of the region talks about climate change as being propaganda.
I'm afraid that it is just not enough to blame the weather for the situation regarding the wildfires we are dealing with in Spain and also I would say in Southern Europe now. I think we have to dig deeper because we are dealing with a deeply political issue driven by what I consider three main factors. The first, obviously, is the undeniable reality of climate change, right? The extreme temperatures and severe drought conditions have created a new category of sixth-generation wildfires. And these are not normal fires. They are so intense that they create their own weather system, right? And making them virtually impossible to extinguish until the weather ceases. But there is a second factor related to this strike you talked before, which is decades of neoliberal policies that have diminished public services in the region of Madrid, especially, and in all the regions all around Spain. Spain is a decentralized country made of 17 autonomous regions with significant self-governing powers, and 11 of those regions are run by conservative and far-right parties pushing aggressively to dismantle public services. So in fact, as you said before, right when these wildfires broke out, some of Madrid's wildland firefighters had been on strike for 40 days straight, protesting precarious working conditions and a severe lack of resources. So, as I said before, on this situation with the firefighters in the region of Madrid shows up, this is not just about weather. This has to do with a political issue which is going on in regions like Madrid, right, based on these neoliberal policies that are diminishing dramatically public services.
I want to bring John Valiant into the conversation, award-winning journalist and author of several books, most recently Fire Weather, on the front lines of a burning world. Here in New York, we experienced the smoke from the Canadian wildfires, and of course all over the United States they did. To say the least, this is an intensification in Spain fire. Can you talk about what's causing this fire weather? What does it mean to be, as we are hearing a description on the front lines of a burning world, and what can be done about it, John?
Yeah, thanks, Amy. When that subtitle was conceived, it sounded like hyperbole, the front lines of a burning world, but we're really seeing that right now. Oregon and Washington State are also burning ferociously right now, in addition to British Columbia and Ontario and Southern Europe and North Africa, massive fires everywhere. And we're seeing this accumulation of decades of intensifying heat, which promotes drought. And so these conditions have been slowly building and worsening for decades, basically vindicating, unfortunately, the warnings of climate scientists and firefighters who have been fearing these kind of collaborative events where, as we've heard, large fires are merging together, creating mega fires that are then create conditions that are impossible for humans to respond to meaningfully. So what we're seeing in Spain and France now are flames exceeding 100 meters. So these are 30-story tall flames.
Oh my God.